Setting the deviation on a KPC 3 Plus 9.1 firmware, a Cantronics TNC. Today I'm going to use a service monitor, an IFR Com 120B, to set the deviation. The deviation for our area with mountains and water, and we use a lot of nodes to get around that. It's important to have the right correct deviation. The testing we've done proves that 2.75 kilohertz of deviation is the right number. On the bench today I have a Motorola Radius, 12 volts, ground, push to talk, receive audio, transmit audio. I'm going to go through the calibration of that, and we're going to use a program called AirMail. I have AirMail set up with the parameters of the TNC. Right now this one is on COM1 9600. And you'll notice that the CTS and the DTR are red. That would indicate that the TNC is off if we have the correct port and the correct baud rate. The baud rate is between the computer and the TNC, not the baud rate out over the radio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the TNC. You'll see this CTS and DSR turn green, and it will spit out the information stored in the TNC, which tells us it's version 9.1, which is the latest version of Cantronics. I'm going to move my mouse into that box, and I'm going to type CAL. That stands for calibration. When I hit enter, I'll get another menu, and that's the calibrate mode. The transmitted deviation will be mark and space, and when we're doing the deviation we want to do the square wave, which is a combination of the two. So I'm going to hit a T and watch on the analyzer, and we'll see on the bottom scale what it has in kilohertz. It goes from 0 to 2 kilohertz. That will auto range when we start this. And as you see on the AirMail, plus or minus will change the transmit level. The command is xmit LVL. So I'm going to hit the T. The radio is now transmitting into a dummy load, and you'll notice the carrier is there, and we're at 1.19 kilohertz, almost 1.20. Now I'm going to increase that. Every time I hit the plus key, it will move up. And what I'm going to do is, it takes a while, I'm going to hold it down and it'll move up a little faster and release, hold down and release. And then all of a sudden you notice it went right up to 4 kilohertz. And that's because it's a kind of a logarithmic. So I'm going to scroll down minus at a time, and you'll notice that it would be very hard to do this by ear. And I'm going to go down below, and then I'm going to come back up on 275. That's about as close as I can get, and I hit the space bar. Now I'm going to hit the X to exit, and then I'm going to type XM, which is a shortened form for the xmit level or transmit level, and it says that it is 261. I'm now going to write that onto the top on a label, 261. That is now the number that we need, and in AirMail, that's what it is. It's very much the same in Winlink Express. I'll bring up Winlink Express here in a second. I'm using a different call sign for this. That's why it's not registered My call sign is normally Victor Echo 7 Echo Delta. This is a TNC I was doing for VA7DXX for his system that he's got in Ladysmith. I'm going to remind myself about that and click that. So now once we're in Winlink Express, I am going to open a packet session. It wouldn't matter whether it was a Winlink session or the packet session. You'll see it goes through the initialization and says ready. And this is also set for COM port 1 9600. Under settings, you'll see COM 1 9600. It's a Cantronics KPC 3 Plus. Down the bottom, this has got a transmit level of 30. And we want to change that to 261. And I like to disable that so it doesn't accidentally get changed. And this is the 1200 baud side of the TNC. And we'll click update. So now we're all ready to go. It's as close as we can get it to 2.75 kilohertz of deviation. And that's how you do the setup. Now you don't necessarily have to have a service monitor. You could use a sine adder, which is also a tool for measuring. They're not as expensive by any means of the service monitor. Hope this has been helpful. In our case, we have about 17 radio rooms for the EOCs, and over time, after we get them all working, we've increased the network by about 25%. Hope this has been useful. Don't forget to subscribe. V7 Echo Delta out.